Tyrion Belvin, you are an Ironman. Robert Hale, you are an Ironman.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the next episode of the Chasing Kona Season 3 series. Today is Sunday morning. It's 9:30. I actually just rolled out of bed probably about 30 minutes ago. I'll get into why a little bit later, but today we are going to do a little something to try to figure out the whole hydration problem. Now, the marathon, I felt I got a pretty good grasp on what was going on, but we're gonna get a little bit more information today. We'll probably have to do it again down the road to see how things are changing. But today we have a long run on the schedule, and then once we do the run, we'll do the test. I'll explain everything. Then we'll kind of sum up the week, because I'm still week one. This is the last day of week one, so it is Sunday the 17th. And we're about to we had a tough week one back. I may have to make some adjustments to my week two schedule to accommodate everything, but let's get into today. Let me get fed, let me get my workout in. I'll tell you guys what we're doing to try to combat the nutrition hydration issue, and then kind of like where I'm thinking for my plan. Because I know that's going to be a big issue for me. It's always been a big issue for me, is figuring out the hydration and nutrition issue, especially going from the bike to the run. So let me get into my day, and I'll catch up with you guys when we're ready to run. All right, so there's breakfast. Bagel, peanut butter, honey, banana. I did sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on there. You probably didn't see that part. But we're gonna eat this, and then within about 40 minutes or so, we're gonna be out on a run, taking care of business today, just to get it done early. So let me go enjoy breakfast, get hydrated, get changed, and I'll see you outside for the run. Okay, so we're outside getting ready to run. It's about 11:15. Stomach's not really doing too well today. Had shit food yesterday. We went to Six Flags. Prices for food were outrageous, so I was like, well, let me just get a large soft pretzel. And then as they're cooking it and they're preparing it before the salt, dude takes the popcorn butter and smears it all over so the salt sticks to it. So I had this pretzel, which was decent, would have been decent with salt, and movie theater popcorn butter, and I was like, bleh. So my stomach's paying for it now. But we're outside, we're about to go run. I have an 80-minute run today, which is fine because I'm really happy with that as a starting point from, with marathon prep, just finishing. So I'm like, my fitness is still there. We should have a good time running this. Anyway, what am I doing for nutrition purposes? Well, I haven't done this since I left Florida, but we're doing a sweat test today. Now, I'm not using the expensive sweat test. I'm using the Gatorade GX sweat patch. No, this is not a sponsored ad. I am not paid for. I paid for this by myself. If you go to the Gatorade site, I'll link it in the description. When I bought these, I think a little over a week ago from recording this, so first week of December, second week of December, they were $5 a piece. So I bought 4 of them. Again, the link below is not an affiliate link. I'm not getting paid for this. This is what I'm using. So basically, I'm just going to put this on my left forearm. You've seen me do these in the past. I'm going to go run for 80 minutes. Then I'm going to scan the patch with the app on the phone, and it's going to give me a breakdown of how much sweat I've lost per hour and how much of that sweat content is salt, okay? Because the sodium content is what I'm going to base my nutrition plan around. Now, for this run, it's only 60 degrees. It's only 80 minutes. I'm not bringing any hydration because I don't want to have to add how much hydration I drank. I'm just going to say I did 80 minutes with no hydration. Is that going to kill me? Probably. It probably won't hurt me at all, but we'll see what happens, and we'll see what the end of the results show me. Now, if it's similar to what I've seen in the past, because I have 2 other sweat patches that I've used and scanned in this app, they both have similar results, so we'll compare and see how similar this one is to that. So let me get this propped up on my arm, and then I'll get ready to run. Okay, inside my left forearm. My forearm is dry, it is clean. That's where we're at. And then as I run, sweat will collect inside that thing. And you can see there's like little grooves on there. Those will fill with sweat, and I'll actually get to watch those like change colors. And then at the end, I'll scan it into the app, and the app will read what all that means and let me know what the results are. Again, this is a Gatorade patch. It is not an official scientific laboratory sweat test. So is there a degree of inaccuracy? Probably. What the degree of inaccuracy is, I don't know. But we're going to see what happens. Now keep in mind, this is also my first time doing this in Texas, so I don't know if that's going to change the variation with the lack of humidity and the dryness. I don't know what's going to happen as far as the sweat content. The sodium content should be fairly similar to what it was in Florida in the last 2 tests that I've run. But we'll see when we get done and get the results. So let me go run, and I'll scan the results after 80 minutes of running. About to end this workout. Stop. All right, so I got to scan a Nike patch. I'm gonna screen record and show you what it looks like when you actually scan the patch. Before I scan it though, here's what it looks like. I actually expect it to be a lot more, but whatever, let's see what it says. All right, so first it asks me a bunch of details about the workout itself. I ran outdoors. I ran for 80 minutes. It asked me environmental details. After it scans the patch, it's going to ask me what the weather was like. Was I outdoors? How much I consumed during the run. So I'll put in all those details and then scan the patch. In this case, I have to scan the patch again because the first time it didn't read right for some reason. But when it finally did, it scanned it. It saved the sweat profile. And when I get back to the house, I'll review the sweat profile because we're gonna walk and do this cool down, and we'll go over it together, and then I'll compare it to other sweat profiles, and then talk about why understanding what this profile means is important.
A few moments later.
Okay, so what were the results of the sweat test? I'm gonna put them here. First, I'm gonna put the one from today. Today's run was in 61 to 65 degree weather, and it said I sweat per hour 30 to 34 ounces. Not too bad. Okay, I can handle that. The alarming part, the questionable part, is the sodium content of that sweat is 11 to 24 milligrams per hour. Now, you're thinking that's not bad. If you take the high end, the 34 and the 24, that's 816 milligrams per hour sweat loss. Not a big deal to replace 1 LMNT, 1,000 milligrams in the water. Boom, I got enough. I'm overcompensating for my sodium loss. But here's the concerning part. The last test I did in Florida was in 75 degree weather. It was a lot more humid, but it said my sweat rate was 46 to 51 ounces per hour. And of that sweat, my sodium content was 22 to 36 milligrams per hour, which put me at closer to 1,800 milligrams per hour of sodium. 800, that's 1,000 milligram difference roughly. Okay, now I don't have the math off the top of my head, but it's a good amount of sodium difference between the two. So I have to keep this in mind for right now, as the temperatures are going to be kind of cool, and I can compensate with my sodium content now. I'll have to do this again as the temperatures start to rise to see if the sodium content and the sweat rate changes as I get a little bit warmer, or as the temperatures get warmer. Because obviously when we get into Ironman Texas, we want to make sure that I'm getting enough sodium content on the bike so that when I get to the run, we don't have the same issues that we had at Gulf Coast, where a mile into the run, I started getting blacked out dizzy because I was super dehydrated. I was about 1,000 milligrams short at Gulf Coast per hour, and I thought I was feeling great on the bike. As soon as I hit the run, the heat hit me, and even though it was only like upper 70s, low 80s, it felt like it was 120 degrees. So we'll have to keep an eye on this going forward, but this is a good starting point, at least for the winter months. Again, once it starts getting warmer, we'll have to adjust, do it again, and make sure that our sweat rate and our sodium content hasn't changed. Okay, so to wrap things up for today's video, what does all those numbers mean? What does it matter, the amount of sodium and the amount of water that I need to lose, that I'm losing, matter come race day? Well, it just tells you how much I have to replace. So, looks like, there we go. Right now, since I'm only losing about 800 milligrams of sodium per hour at this point, I'm going to use base hydro, probably 2 scoops for however many ounces. But I'm also going to have to add an additional scoop or 2 of electrolyte salts just to kind of get the numbers up. 2 scoops of this and 2 scoops of that is about 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Or I can go buy another box of LMNT sodium electrolytes, but they have 0 calories. The difference between this and LMNT, aside from LMNT having 1,000 milligrams of sodium and this only having 290 per scoop, is this has carbohydrates, okay? Which is good for energy and fuel in my carbohydrate count, which I'll talk to you about in another video. So at the end of the day, right now we're playing the game of how do I get the electrolytes I need to make it to the end of the run without being dehydrated. Because if you've been or seen me at the end of a race within the last 5 years, dehydration is not a good look on me at all. No appetite, I'm usually throwing up at the end of it. Cramping all over the place. I look like I just died. I didn't look that bad after the marathon, but I was still dehydrated, just not on the levels I've been at Ironman. So we have 19 weeks from right now to figure out the combination of electrolytes and carbohydrates for race day. And with that, I'm going to end this video. So give a thumbs up if you like today's video. If you want to learn about anything I'm doing on prep, because I'm learning a lot, comment below, and I'll see if I can find a video where I actually talk about whatever it is that you comment below. Obviously, we want to get more subscribers, so if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the little button. It doesn't cost you anything, helps me out, all right? And that'll give me more ideas and more people to put content out to, especially first-timer Ironman, first-time triathletes, first-time endurance people, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go enjoy a movie with my family. Go ahead, Kenneth. I'm going to enjoy a movie with my family, and we're going to end the night. See you in the next episode.